Today, folks, is like no different than any other because I got a real treat for you. Nick Royer up in the crib. What's cracking, Nick?
I am so happy to be here.
Folks, if you guys don't know who he is, CEO of New View Roofing. He's a roofing dude that did well. And now he's like, you know, this charming fuck. So he's starting to get on stages and become like almost a influencer, if that's what you want to call it. You get a lot of followers on social media. If you guys don't know him, go check him out at New View Nick. You'll see him running around doing his thing. And by the way, he does have a roofing company. So if you got messed up by any hail damage recently, you know, his company's out in mainly Dallas, Texas area, right? Yep. Austin. Yeah. Where else?
Yeah, Dallas, Austin. We're doing Houston, Oklahoma, all of Oklahoma.
Residential and commercial and industrial. So by the time you're done listening, if you need to roof, call my man New View Nick.
Commercial work anywhere in the country. That's important to say.
Yeah, and make sure you tell him Bomb Squad sent you, so this mofo owes me some freaking capital, some casharoo.
Give you a fraction of the action.
Dude, give me a piece for the niece. Dude, I got a lot of people, dude. You might get fucking $1 million worth of roofing jobs out of this podcast.
Listen, I pray that I give you a lot of money.
Well, I know you'll get new followers because that's a given, but let's hope that you get a lot of business as well.
Sure.
But not
I thought
everybody,
about what gift I want to get you if I get some referrals.
Something that goes up in value, preferably. Some sort of asset.
After I get you a nice watch.
I like assets.
Get you a nice watch.
As long as it's an AP, Rolex, or Patek Philippe.
That's it.
Or Patek, whatever you want to call it.
That's my gift.
How do you pronounce that?
I'm not a watch guy. I have no idea. I only got this guy, and that's it. And this was a gift. It's a Breitling. But it was a gift.
Good. Well, again, Breitling's number one are nice. I have 4 of them. However, they don't hold their value or go up in value. It's the craziest thing. My last podcast, I don't know if it was the last one or the one before.
Anthony.
I had the watch dude.
Watch guy.
He said Rolex,
Dallas, Texas.
AP, or Patek. Those hold or increase in value. The rest of them just aren't, right now, hot.
I listened to it. I used to live in the same building as him. He's good, man. He's grinding. He's doing his thing. I'm happy for him.
Okay, so you guys are doing $60 million in revenue, and you did it in 4 years based off some old school ways.
75 million in revenue, or we've been in business just over 7 years. This year,
and you started broke.
Started broke was a joke. I got a tattoo to prove it.
And you did 75 mil.
We've done 75 million in the last.
What kind of margins on those numbers, pal?
20-30%.
That's a pretty decent chunk of change, huh?
Insurance claims.
Think you could get better than a Breitling?
It was a gift.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a watch guy.
I'm just busting your chops. So what I want to know, and I want to share with the Bomb Squad, is how you did it, because there's a lot of people out there with businesses, especially with the COVID and the shit that goes on. A lot of people losing hope. A lot of people getting all depressed and literally starting to say, maybe I should just get a job, honey. Were you ever at a point where you almost gave up?
Absolutely. I moved to Dallas, Texas to move to a city I'd never been to before and pursue something I'd never done before.
Why?
I moved to Dallas, Texas to work for a roofing company. A guy that I knew in Cleveland comes from money. He partnered with a guy who was a roofer. So a guy that I knew called me and said, I have an opportunity for you. At that time in my life, I was at a crossroads because I was consulting health clubs at the time. I lived in 4 states in 4 years. I would go into gyms. It was like bar rescue, but for gyms. I would go into gyms that were financially struggling, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 in the hole every month. And I would completely revamp the gym. Everything, head to toe, front desk, cleaning staff, personal training staff, every single thing. I treated it as my gym. I treated it as if it said Royer Fitness outside. It's my last name. So I would just revamp these gyms, and I just learned so much about sales and how the process works of connecting with a potential customer. So then I was at a crossroads because I got out of that industry, and my daughter was just an infant at the time. She was a few months old. I decided to get out of the industry, so I started looking to pursue another opportunity. So a guy from Cleveland that I had known said, well, you should try this roofing thing. Well, what's the roofing thing all about? Wow, it's kind of crazy because we get these storms in Dallas, and we're both from Cleveland, Ohio, so we don't know how hailstorms work. So yeah, I've got a team of guys. There's about 30 sales guys that are going. They go out door to door, and you could do pretty well. Well, what's pretty well? Well, at that time, I was making let's just call it $90,000 a year. Okay. If you would have told me I could make $91,000 a year, I would have done it. So he just said, well, the top guy's making like 130. So I said, I'll do it. Well, you got to see it first. Well, I'll do it. I was at the point where I didn't care about being happy with my job. I didn't care about network. I didn't care about doing anything other than providing for my family at the time. And so if I could make more than what I was previously, it didn't matter what I was doing. He could have legitimately said, you need to wake up at 4 a.m. and pick up nails all day. You need to wake up at 5 a.m. and bring shingles to the roof. All I heard was roofing, and then the top guy's making 130. So he flies me to Dallas, and I sat down with him in his office right when I got to town, and I said, so how does this thing work? And he goes, well, you basically just got to go door to door and get leads. Well, how do I get leads? I don't know. Just ask people if they want the roof looked at. Well, and then what? Well, you're just going to pass the lead off to this guy. Do I get a commission? No, we're just going to pay you per lead. Okay. So I go out the first day, and I'm very big on appearance. Like, I'm very big on, some people don't care what the fuck they wear, right? I'm really big on that. I like to wear clothes that are form-fitting. It makes me feel good. He hands me a double XL polo, and I'm wearing shorts and tennis shoes. And I go the first day, and I get 3 leads. I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. I'm literally going door to door in a city I've never been to before, and I'm just asking people, is it cool if we look at your roof? So the first day I get 3 leads. The second day I get 6 leads. The third day I get 9 leads. And I'm like, I think I'm pretty good at this. So I go to him and I go, is this good? Is this normal? He's like, you've gotten more leads in the last 3 days than most of these slapdicks do in like a month. Okay, so I think I'm good at this, right? Like, what's the expectation? And I need to exceed the expectation, whatever it is in life. So that's why I knew I was onto something. Well, a week later, we got hit with a softball-sized hailstorm. So I transitioned from learning the position and just going out and being the door knocker that gets this guy money to now it's like baptism by fire. Hey, you were knocking doors and you're the best at it. You're just going to do sales now. Well, how do I do sales? We'll just keep knocking. When you get sales, we'll just teach you how to sign a contract. So I will forever be grateful for that opportunity and that guy, but that guy also, and this is part of my story. I fucking love it. A year later, so I moved there at the end of March 26, 2012. By the end of the year, I was just flirting. I was just away. I was in the top 3 of sales in the company. And there was over 30 reps.
What were you making?
I ended up making, well, I started at the end of March. So let's just call it April 1st to be fair. And I ended up making I want to say 80 that year. Okay.
Not the 130 they promised.
No, but I didn't have any momentum and I started fresh. So
yeah, but 80 G's is kind of chump change, isn't it?
It's nothing. That's how I overdrafted my bank account. I got the tattoo.
Like 80 grand with a family, guys.
It's nothing,
folks. It's
nothing. I'm below water.
Yeah, I mean, you're not getting out of the rat race to making that kind of money.
But this is the biggest thing that I wasn't told. I'm not playing victim. I'm simply literally explaining the situation. And this is, I'm extremely transparent. I'll never lie. So this is no bullshit.
Proceed.
I was not explained the process of how you get paid. So with insurance companies, it's great because you could make good money. It's bad because it takes a long time to get paid. I wasn't explained that from the time you sign a job, it's going to take you 3 months to get paid on that job. Well, why? Because you have to send an invoice. And then after you send an invoice to an insurance company, because they have millions of invoices coming in, they're not just like chomping at the bit waiting for invoice like, okay, mail this check off. No, you got to follow up. And you got to follow up again. And then you got to follow up 2 months later saying, can I please get paid? That's how insurance companies work. Can you make a good living if you work with insurance companies? Healthcare, contracting, yes. But it takes a minute to get paid. I had exhausted my bank account. I moved there with I think I had $5,000 to my name. Well, I didn't
poor fella.
I was poor, but I was willing to do whatever it took, and I did. So here I am, and I have 11 contracts that I had signed, and my average commission was $700 a house, which is whatever. So in my head, I'm like, well, I'm waiting to get paid on 7,000. Well, I had nothing. No, Brad, I had nothing. There's break even, and then there's below. So I overdrafted my bank account, and I got my car repossessed. And it was embarrassing as shit because think about it from my perspective. I moved to a city and I branched out and did something new in a new industry, and I was legitimately doing good at it, but I had nothing to show for it. Oh, and by the way, I've got a fiance to take care of and a 7-month-old daughter. So defining moment. Some people have 2 defining moments. Some people have, am I doing something wrong?
No.
Some people have 22. Some people have 222. I call the DMs, not the ones that you guys slide into talk to the ladies. I call the DMs defining moments. So a defining moment I had was after being there for a year, I was now the top dog. I had all this momentum going into 2013. I became the top sales guy in this company. And he sits me down and he goes, hey, we got something big for you. What do you mean big? Well, dude, you've done more in this last year than most people do. We're going to take you to a nice dinner and we have a gift. Okay. So he takes me to this 5-star dinner, my favorite restaurant in Dallas, Albernays, one of my favorites. And he just gives me this bullshit speech. Hey, if we had 10 Nick Royers, we'd retire in a couple of years. So we have something for you. All right. So he gives me a watch. I grew up in Cleveland, not poor. I'm not going to say I grew up poor, but we didn't have a lot. We had enough. Never held a Rolex, never saw a Rolex, never seen anyone with a Rolex. To me, a Rolex was no different than having a Bugatti. It's like it doesn't exist. In the world that I grew up in, I see it in like rap videos or movies. I can't physically identify with it because I've never seen one before. So he hands me this Rolex, and I had like chills throughout my body. Like, oh my God, some kid from Cleveland. Now I get to wear the Rolex. I call my family. I call my friends. I'm rocking the Rolex. Like, didn't go to college. Here I am. I was pushing my daughter in the stroller the next day in the mall and it's not working. So I happen to be in the mall in Dallas, the Gallery Mall that has a Rolex store in it. So I go into the store. This is 24 hours later and I'm on like cloud 9. I found it was fake. This motherfucker, he gave me a fake Rolex. And so at that point in my life, because of the standard that I had set for myself, because of what I'd been through, I'm not playing victim, I'm simply saying, I went through some shit. All right, I moved to a new city. I excelled at the position. I exceeded the expectation. I had my car repossessed. I overdrafted my bank account. I got out of that hole. And now here I am, and you're going to give me a fake Rolex? So my thought process at that time in my life was, I'm better than this. Right? And I had hit my threshold. So people get to their threshold in their relationship. They got mentally, God forbid, physically abused too many times. They put their foot down. This is when I'm going to leave him. He smacked me once and he said it was an accident, but he hit me again. I'm going to leave now. Some people, wake up every morning and they're 25 pounds overweight. I got to lose the weight. And then something happened. I don't know. Something happens. They go to the doctor and the doctor's like, you're going to die if you keep going this route. Right? Or family member has a heart attack. And they're like, I hit my threshold. Now I'm going to do the workout program. Now I'm going to follow the diet. I hit my threshold at that point in my life because I was just better than it. And my logic was that this is how I'm treated right now when I'm performing. Well, shit, God forbid. What happens if God forbid? What happens if my daughter gets sick and I can't knock doors for 10 hours a day for 2 weeks because my daughter's sick? God forbid something goes on in my family. I got to go back to Cleveland, Ohio and help out. Well, then what's going to happen? So I called my best friend at the time.
You ain't going to get a real Rolex.
Shit. No. So I called my best friend and I said, you're never going to believe this. He gave me a fake Rolex and he goes, that's okay. We'll just start a roofing company. And I said, come on. I was calling to vent. I wasn't calling to tell you to start a business. He goes, no, that's what we're going to do. And I said, well, why would we do that? We don't know what we're doing. He goes, you're just being a typical roofer, dude. You're overthinking the process. You're going to do what you do best. You're going to go do sales. You're the people person and you're not that smart, right? I'm your best friend and I'm pretty smart and I don't like talking to people. I'm going to take care of everything other than sales. You work on the sales. So you line them up and I'll figure it out. I'll get the crews. I'll order the material. I'll schedule the jobs. I'll coordinate everything. You do what you do best. So at that moment, I partnered with my best friend, Mike Gibson, and then we started New View Roofing. So my whole concept was I got to get guys like me. I got to get guys that they're willing to knock doors 30 degrees outside, 133 degrees outside. It doesn't matter. I have to find guys like me that are obsessed. And man, did I fail at that, right? I basically went out and I would train guys on how to door knock. And it all starts from what's your objective? What are you looking to do in life, right? Like what's your life mission? And then also after I know like what your why is, so I could hold you accountable to that. Let's talk about perception. All right. Whether you like it or not, whether you think it's right or wrong, perception is reality. So everything that you're saying says everything about you. Everything you're doing says everything about you. If you think for 1 second, you want me to get detailed, you want me to get granular with it, every single thing that you're saying and doing says everything about you. You're a walking, talking billboard. You're a walking, talking business card. So let's talk about this. When you go door to door and you're going to knock on someone's door that the home value is anywhere between $450,000 to $850,000. Your hairstyle says everything about you. The way you groom yourself, facial hair, says everything about you. Well, is hair really that important? Well, let's talk about that. If you walk up to a door and your hair is dyed pink, what do you think it says about you? Well, I wouldn't dye my hair pink. So your hair does tell you a lot about you. Okay. If you have a beard and it's a Duck Dynasty beard down your belly, what does that say about you? Well, I got a beard, but I wouldn't let it get that long. So you do agree that your beard, the way you groom it, says everything about you. Let's talk about your shirt. You think your shirt size is important? What about your belt? What about your belt buckle? What about your pants? What about the way you wear your pants? What if you're sagging? Okay. People are going to do business with people that they know, they like, and that they trust. So you have to do everything in your power within seconds. When I say seconds, Jordan Belfort was talking, with you about this, about the straight line approach, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm wrong a lot more than I'm right. But it's like you got 4 seconds to where someone's like, you're giving someone the perception if they like you, right? And you got to come off sharp as a tack and expert in your field. So you've got less than 10 seconds to get someone to know you, like you, trust you. And again, this is physical, in-person sales. And you've got to say and do everything you can to build value and create urgency. So let's get you dressed first. Let's talk about your goals and then come out to the field and knock doors with me. So I've said this before and I will continue to say this for the rest of my life. I have failed my way to success. Now, success is subjective, right? Because if I compare myself to you, I'll go to bed crying every night. But I compare myself to myself, right? And so I failed my way to success because I have made so many mistakes, and I will continue to do it because I'm practicing every single day. I'm sharpening my sword every single day. I'm trying to learn every single day. But back to the company, I trained my team on how to knock doors. And what was upsetting to me was that people didn't want it as bad as I wanted it. And I learned real fast, it is not fair for me to hold other people accountable to the way I hold myself accountable. So my whole management style completely shifted. And it was hard, but we will do 100 million this year in overall company revenue since inception because of my shift in mentality and because I partnered and aligned myself with good people. My business partner is unbelievable. The guys that work with us are amazing. And I basically learned that you can't hold people accountable to how you hold yourself. So what's the objective? My objective is to find people that it's not about how tall, you don't got to be white or black. You don't got to be tall or short. You don't got to be skinny or fat. All right. I want to find people that are obsessed with giving the customer the best experience possible. That's it. Not obsessed with waking up at 7 a.m. like I do. Not obsessed with working out twice a day, 5 days a week like I do. Not obsessed with all my personal ambition in life. I can't hold people accountable to that. So I currently just find people that are committed to giving our customers the best experience possible. That's all that matters. That's how I grew a brand.
So that's how you grew the company, yeah.
That's how I grew the company. So now
you had to pick some shitty ones though.
Shitty what?
People.
Oh God. I mean, not that I picked them, but naturally
you picked them.
They came to me.
Whatever.
I vetted them.
You picked them.
I invested time in them.
When you said go ahead, when you said go get them, dog, and they took a shit in the front yard, that was your bad choices.
Out of every 5 people that train with me, 1 of them make it. 4 of them just go, I ain't built like this.
Yeah, so I want to unpack, as they say.
Let's do it.
This part. Because there's a lot of people out there with a people problem.
Yeah.
People always ask me what's the hardest part of building all the businesses I've built, and I say people.
Yeah.
Like working with people and or dealing with all the different personalities and or, trying to find specific types of people that are hard to find. Yeah. Like you're describing, what I would consider, unicorns, or I call them stallions. Now the problem with stallions, Nick, the problem with stallions?
I mean, I could guess, but I think we're better off you telling
Well,
me.
let's call the not stallions turkeys, and let's call the stallions stallions.
Okay.
So the problem with stallions is they won't run and hang out with turkeys.
Mm-hmm.
You ever see the stallions cruising across the plains?
I got a great fact about
stallions. There's a whole pack of stallions
Right.
just freaking out in the middle of the freaking range, charging, looking all freaking majestic and shit.
Yeah.
You ever notice the turkeys in between their feet?
Mm-hmm.
You have?
No.
That's because turkeys don't run in between their feet.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Stallions don't run with turkeys, dude.
Great fact about stallions, I heard.
Hold on, though.
Okay.
I'm going somewhere with this.
Let's get it.
Dude, if the stallions won't run with turkeys and you got a bunch of fucking turkeys because it's better than nobody, which people do this. You know they do this.
Right.
It's like, yeah, it's better than nobody.
Yeah.
No, it isn't.
No.
Okay. Not if you're trying to attract stallions, because in order to attract stallions, you have to be a stallion. Number one, you have to be a stallion.
100%.
You can't say I want a stallion, but you're not one. Then number two, you have to make sure you get rid of the turkeys fast.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't do that. So that's to me, the lesson for the listeners. By this is proof.
Yeah.
Because you basically built a big ass company, but you also picked some shitties, didn't you?
Yeah, 100%.
So did you get rid of those shitties quickly?
Well, so yes, but everyone's a 1099 subcontractor. So this is not like you're coming on board and you're an employee of New View Roofing. So whether someone sells one roof a day or one roof a year, we're not losing money per se. And that's going back to my objective of no matter how much people sell, just make sure you give customers the best experience, because that's how we grow the brand. And as of right now, we've got the most positive reviews on Google than any roofing contract. We have over 600, which is quite a bit. We should be at 1,000 though by the end of the year. And that's all I care about. But you're 100% right. 1 out of every 5 guys that train with me, they make it, meaning they stay on board with us. And after that, 1 out of every 5 of those guys get to the top 80-20 rule. 20% of our guys make up 80% of the company revenue. So yeah, the whole stallion turkey thing, couldn't agree with you more. But I've created a culture that the stallions kind of stick together, right? And I love every single person in my company. Every person legitimately represents our brand well. But those 20%ers, they act a little different. They talk a little different. They dress a little different, like you know. And you'll find that I feel in most companies, those top tier guys, they mold to each other.
Yeah, but how do you find them, number one, and then how do you weed out the bad ones?
First thing, how we find them. Practically everyone with our company is a friend of mine, or they came highly, highly referred from a very close friend of mine. So I'm not running ads. You're not going to see me. Maybe you will. You should. Posting like, do you want to work for a good company and blah, blah, blah. I'm not actively recruiting per se. So practically every one of our company is a close personal friend that we know. Also, how do we weed out the bad guys? Like I said, it's not a matter of we don't fire people. It's just a matter of I'll hold dinners once a month, whether it's at my house or whether I take them to a nice restaurant, and I invite everybody. But out of 34 guys, it's funny that the same 13 people show up every time, right? I didn't weed them out. They kind of weed themselves out, right? And again, I'm not talking shit because every one of my guys is a great guy.
But they're all invited?
Yeah.
See, I don't, why would you invite them all?
Because I never want to exclude anyone that's part of my brand. And if they want to be part of a conversation of how we talk about how we...
But if they're not living the values and they're not living the culture, they could be harmful to your brand.
But as long as they're giving their customers a good experience, that's all that matters to me.
So what you're saying is it doesn't matter if they sell 1 or 1,000 as long as their customers are extremely happy?
Correct. Absolutely. It's not fair for me to,
but don't you think it'd be better if you found these badasses that are selling 1,000 and their customers are happy, and those guys are invited to dinner, which would then stimulate the ones that aren't selling to sell because they want to be dinner too. They want to be recognized too.
Right. You're 100% right.
So is there any value in ignoring the bottom tier people? And so they fight to get to the top tier because that's where the attention flows.
Yeah. I never want to exclude anyone, but like I keep saying, I mean, the same people show up and the same conversation are had with the top performers, right?
Are all the top performers showing up?
Yeah.
So do you ever have any top performers not show up?
No.
You know why they show up, I think?
Yeah.
Because they're top performers.
Yeah. It's fun walking.
But the ones aren't showing up, are those top performers?
No.
Don't you want more top performers?
Yes.
So how do we get the other ones to show up?
We just need to get people to perform better, and then they'll show up.
You would hope, but
right.
But they identify themselves by not showing up. So where
Correct.
I'm going with this is, let's say you invite all 34 people, and
right.
the best ones always show up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the other ones are not showing up.
Mm-hmm.
What if you didn't invite them? They're not showing up anyway. And you did the old takeaway, which means, hey,
I love the takeaway.
For the top 10 people, we're going to be in Cancun. For the top 10 people, you're going to go to dinner with Nick. The top 10 people will be the top 10 people. Yeah. But then the other ones, they're not allowed to go. And that initiates that initial, God dang it, dude, I got to get in that group.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like that because I think that's contributing to competitive culture.
You ever heard of steak and beans?
No.
Huh?
No. What's that?
Dude, it's where you do a contest amongst all your people. The top performers get steak. And the bottom performers
the slapdicks get the beans?
They get the beans, dude. So literally you sit at a table and there's people with these gourmet meals and shit, dude. Like they got freaking silverware and napkins and shit. And then right next to them, dude, there's a dude with a paper plate of pork and beans. And they got to eat.
Yeah. You're just eating the steak.
Steak and beans, bro.
No, I like that.
And nobody wants to be stuck with those fucking beans. Because it is a fun thing. But like, you don't want a plate of beans in front of you.
Yeah.
You don't want to show up if you got the beans. But you do because it's part of the deal.
Right.
So you do a steak and beans contest and you'll start to see what happens. That's what happens, dude. The people eating the beans are like, fuck this. I'm not eating beans. I feel like an asshole. Everyone's laughing at me. Dude, it moves them up into the top. Now, there's people that will never be able to do it for whatever reason, limitations, mindset, whatever. But if they're just constantly never a top performer, dude, it's just me. I don't have a roofing company, but if I did, I'd get rid of them. Well, they're $10.99. Doesn't cost me anything. Yes, it does. It costs you fucking performers, dude, because when performers are in a group of fucking people and 80% aren't winning, you have performers going, well, dude, why would I be in a company where 80% of the people are losing? I'm going to go find a company where everybody's winning.
But, okay, so here's my rebuttal to that. The people that are at the bottom end of the barrel, they're not negatively affecting the people at the top of the totem pole.
In your particular case, because usually that's not the case.
I completely agree with you. But what I'm saying is that we're outside sales reps, right?
So they don't even know each other.
I mean, we all know each other, but correct. We don't see each other. We are all, this is how it works. I get everybody acclimated and I tell people, you are a business owner. All right. So fast food, like it or love it.
So are they like a rep?
Yeah.
So you do all the logistics. They're just selling the deal.
100%.
Now your training and everything obviously is the same for everybody.
100%. Yeah.
So if somebody really wants to freaking make money, I hear they're making a hell of a lot more than 130 now.
Yeah, you can.
Well, I know freaking roofing people that are making $500,000.
Yeah.
They're selling jobs left and right.
So here's the deal.
Especially when you got guys in solar.
I got guys making $5,000 a month, $55,000 a month, $155,000 a month, $255,000 a month.
That's what I'm talking about.
So what's the difference? What's the difference? Well, you know the difference.
One's entrepreneurial,
and the audience knows the difference.
One's entrepreneurial with a better mindset than the other one.
That's it. They want it a little bit more. They train a little bit more. They care a little bit more. They knock a little bit more.
Someone's listening to this and they're like, dude, that's me, man, and I'm tired of this bullshit. I want to go hang with Nick.
Call me. I'll fly
you in the DM.
I'll fly. Yeah, hit me in the DM. Hey, I think I could make this work. I'm ready.
And you'll fly where?
I'm going to fly them to Dallas.
Dude, you could have 3,000 people hit your DM after this drops.
I'll do it.
You're not flying 3,000 people to Dallas.
First off, I got to qualify them.
Exactly. Get them on the phone. See if they deserve a flight to Dallas.
And I could know in a FaceTime in about 30 seconds if you're worth my time. All right? How do you look? Do you look at me in the eyes? Do you stutter? Do you look away? How you dressing? I'm going to look at your Instagram account. You posting pictures at the club, posting with the bottles. All right. What are you doing on the
What
weekend?
if you are, but you're a badass?
That's okay. But listen, perception's everything. I'm going to look at your social media profile. I'm going to FaceTime you. In 30 seconds, I'll have a really good idea. In less than 3 minutes, I'll know exactly if you're worth me investing my time in. And after 5 minutes, I'll know 100%. After 5 minutes, if I think you could contribute to the brand. I had a conversation last night on the plane. I was on the plane. A buddy of mine from Chicago texted me 5 months ago, and he said, I got a guy for you. I said, okay. He's a financial advisor in Chicago. He goes, I got a guy. I go, all right, tell me about him. And he goes, he's young. He's hungry. Just graduated college. Nope, not going to work. No, I'm telling you, this kid's different. No, they're all different. Every girl, different. They're not. They're all the same. They're all the same. By the way, the girl comment, that wasn't true. So there are ones different. So I said, Jesus, all right, let me put him on the phone. But you need to tell him right now, I'm not playing around. I'm busy. I'm not playing games. Tell him right now he's got to knock doors 12 hours a day. Tell him right now he's got to be willing to do whatever it takes. All right. So now I'm going back to my initial message, the takeaway. Tell him right now this job probably isn't right for him. Tell him right now it's going to be really, really hard. Tell him right now this job sucks. Tell him right now that most people fail. But if he's still interested after that, I can make him financially free for the rest of his life. But he's got to be willing to knock doors 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. Okay, fine. He's ready for your call. All right. Take this call in. And the kid impressed me enough. I flew him to Dallas, trained him for 2 weeks, lived with me, nonstop, 24/7. Every single thing I did, he was by my side. Right now, he's in Austin. He's 22 years old. He's going to be making between $25,000 to $35,000 a month starting now. He's been doing it for a few months, and he is doing literally every single thing I've told him to do. He's 22 years old. He's going to be running laps around his buddies. His buddies are going to, he told me, he's like, my buddies are making 40, 50 grand a year. And I'm like, Sam, that's going to be your month. Like, good for you. So I'm on a call last night. I'm on the flight. I boarded my flight. Just got done FaceTiming my girl. Got done FaceTiming my daughter. Oh, shit, I got to call this guy. He's interested in the position. He's a grown man. And I told him the position. I said, it's commission only. It's eat what you kill.
That's right.
All right. So it's the epitome of paid off performance. I love it. I wouldn't want it any other way. All right. And you could be financially free. Are you down? Nah, I don't. Well, what's wrong? I'm just not in the position in life where I'm really ready to do that. I need some type of security. Okay, fine. Call me if you need me. And you know what? If you have building owners that are in Michigan, call me. We could still work together because we could do commercial work nationwide.
We'll do referrals.
So again, I'm not saying F off, never talk to me again. I want to build relationships with as many people as I possibly can. More hands you shake, more money you make.
That's right.
So I'm not at a point where, oh, you don't want to work 12 hours, knock doors 12 hours a day. F you, I never want to talk to you again. No, I want to continue to build the brand by establishing relationships with as many people as I can, as long as they're good, genuine people. So last night, for example, perfect epitome of this guy's not willing to come on a commission-only job, but he told me he knows hundreds of business owners. That's an asset. Okay, fine. You don't want to go door to door? That's okay. You can still make some money though. So I don't know if I'm going in circles, but yeah.
Yeah, you're saying that you're finding value in every relationship.
Yeah.
That's a good trait.
You have to.
So obviously you didn't start out doing 75 mil. What was your first year like?
First year was a couple mil. It was cool.
So you started out doing pretty good.
No. First year, I think we did just under $1 million. Second year, we did a few.
But now you're an owner, not a salesman.
I'm both.
Yeah, but you're not a salesman, dude. You own the fucking shit.
Yeah, but I'm also the sales guy.
So you own the shit. There's a big difference.
What do you mean?
Well, if I'm working for you and I'm a salesman and I do, great and make $1 million, it ain't all mine.
Correct.
If you're the salesman, you make $1 million and you're the fucking owner, it's all yours.
Yeah, I didn't think about it like that. Yeah, you're right, Uncle Brad.
So you did financially better than you ever have starting your own company is the point. The point is you went from an employee, some dude gave you a fake Rolex.
Yep.
And if he'd have gave you a real Rolex, which is probably, what kind of Rolex was it?
I don't know watches, but
back in the day, probably an 8-10 grand Rolex.
Exactly.
If he'd have just invested 8 or 10 grand, you'd have made him so much more
Millions.
money. You'd be freaking running his company while he's just freaking overriding it.
So I left and he went out of business a year later.
Yeah. So there's the bomb. I've been forgetting it. drop a few bombs for you. But there's the bomb, right? Don't cheapskate and don't treat your people like shit. Number one. Number two, your first year out, you went from an employee making X to, okay, now you're the boss. Even though you're doing the same shit, you're just doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
And you made a lot more money.
Yeah.
How much? That wasn't all profit. You had expenses and shit. So the first year you made more than 130 or 80 or whatever you made as an employee.
Yeah. Second year we caught some momentum, and the second year in business
because of hail damage.
Yeah, all because of hail damage. Second year in business, we did a few million in revenue, and that was a good year. I got the biggest deal of my life. I built a relationship with this guy. I pulled a Bradley. I built a relationship with this guy, and he was a genuine friend. Him and I had daughters that are the same age, and he was just he still is. He's a genuine friend. We do play dates. Our daughters do sleepovers. Like, he was just a buddy of mine in Dallas that I met through this real estate investment group that I joined. That was a scam. You know, those real estate, hey, pay us $20,000. We'll give you the playbook and we'll teach you how to flip houses. We did that. It was a complete scam, but we'll talk about that later if you want. I built a relationship with this guy. This is his second year in business. And he called me. He goes, hey, I just got done knocking doors. I'll never forget this defining moment. I just got done knocking doors. I had a shit day. Just no one said yes. Everyone gave me a GFY. That means go fuck yourself. I got a ton of GFYs that day. I had no leads. Started do the pity party on my way home to break for lunch. And I'm like, I got to snap out of it. I got to make it a good day. I'm going to get back after it after lunch. He calls me. He goes, hey, what's up? Nothing. Do you do metal roofs? I had never been on a metal roof in my life. Brad, I'd never been on a metal roof in my life. Yeah, I did 2 last week. Why, what's up? Oh, because my wife, her grandpa owns all this real estate in San Antonio. He's got like 7 buildings and he's got this paperwork. What paperwork? Well, I guess the insurance came out and approved it. Okay, email me it right now. He emails me as I'm driving. I pull over and it's a $700,000 claim. I start hyperventilating. So I call him back and I go, okay, let me get this straight. You mean to tell me you got a $700,000 job and who's the decision maker? I mean, me and my wife. Who's responsible for picking and choosing the contractor and paying the contractor? Me and my wife. Okay. This is like a really good deal. Well, can you do it? Well, yeah, I could do it. You sure you know how to do metal roofs? Hey, it's a roof. You take it off and put it back on. I'm not a pediatric brain surgeon, bro. You take it off and put it back on. Okay, cool. So we went back to the insurance, got an extra $500,000 out of them. So to this day, the biggest deal I ever did in my life was a $1.3 million job. It was a second year of business. And that was good. And
what kind of commission do you get on something like that?
That was, me and my business partner split 500.
Yeah, but if you weren't the owner, you were just a salesman that did that, what would you have made?
I mean, if the profit, we split the profit of the job with our sales guys on commercial jobs. So if there's $30,000 profit, the sales guy's making 15 grand. There's $100,000 profit, sales guy's making 50 grand.
So based on profit.
Yeah, it's based on profit. And we're transparent with our sales guys. Just so you know, our business model, I can't speak on behalf of all roofing company owners, but our business model is based on, we leave all the money with the sales guys. I got that because when I got, well, I'm not going to say take advantage of, but when I get the fake Rolex, it's like, well, I'm going to do a company. I'm going to do it right. Well, how do I do it right? Well, let's pay our guys more. Why do you want to pay your guys more? That means as an owner, you're going to make less.
What do I want? Work.
I want guys to work. I want guys to be happy. I want guys to make money. So I'm more than willing to make a hell of a lot less money, knowing that the money's in our sales guy's hand, because who's going to be loyal? Who's going to stick with you? Who's going to be your ride or die? You want guys that you could trust to represent your brand. We've been in business for 7 years. Our guys have all been, we get newcomers. Don't get me wrong, but our guys, since they've started with us, could never fathom working anywhere else. I got guys working 20 hours a week, making $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year, because we leave all the money with the sales guys. So that second year of business, we did a few million, but out of that 5 million we did that year in revenue, 1.3 was from that one job I got. So here's where things got fun. Third year in business, we had brought down, I think 11 or 12 guys from Ohio that I trained, got them acclimated to the process of door knocking, appearance, perception, sales, overcoming objections. We got these guys down, got them trained up. And in 2016, we got back-to-back hailstorms within 5 weeks of each other. So we went from doing like 4 million in revenue, 4 or 5 million. We did 18 million in revenue that third year in business. And it was all because of a little bit of luck, right? Literally from hail. But we had the team, we had the infrastructure. These guys were hungry. They knew the process. And ever since that third year in business, we've just been on a good plan. We've been on a really good path. So,
well, good. And it's all, hail damage. You need a roof repairman. So you're going to, have a bigger market to dip into, but
yeah,
there's got to be a bunch of other roofers knocking on their door too.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of real estate agents too, but you got to stand out from your competition. You got to do something to differentiate yourself.
What do you do that's different?
Well, I think that the way I take care of my customers, I think the way that I present myself, I think is superior than, again, that's, I'm going to answer your question. I don't want to sound arrogant and cocky and all that stuff. And in fairness, I don't know what all other roofers say. I don't know what all other roofers do.
Have you ever lost a job to another roofer?
Yeah.
So what did they say or do?
They just try to probably give them back money or some shit. I don't know. It's not fair for me. How about this? I wasn't part of the conversation, so I don't know what they offered. I just know that when I look at our performance and I look at the numbers that we put up and I know how we stack up with other roofing companies, we're up there. When I say we're up there, we're in one of the top competitive markets for roofing in the entire country, and we are 100% in the top 5% of highest volume roofing companies in Dallas-Fort Worth. So it's a highly competitive market, and I know that we really control we own a big piece of that pie.
Nice.
So
it's probably because your focus is taking care of customers.
That's all it's all about.
Dude, that's grown a lot of big companies. If you start reading histories of companies,
yeah,
like Zappos, dude, that guy was all about customer service.
Yeah.
I think it was Nordstrom's. They they used to take back anything.
Yeah.
No questions
They still
asked.
do. It's unbelievable.
That's customer focus.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of companies win on that.
Mm-hmm. Jeff Bezos made a comment, and I was listening to him, and he goes, we get in these boardrooms and we talk all the time about, what do we want to do and what do we want to add and how do we want to improve and what do we think our customers are going to want? And he goes, one day I asked myself, well, what do we know that the customers aren't going to want? And Jeff Bezos said, I know that our customers 5 years from now and 10 years from now, they're not going to want their product any slower. So I know that. I know that if we offer same-day delivery, I know that 5 years from now, people aren't going to want to be okay with getting 3-day delivery. So what do we want? What do we know our customers definitely don't want? Well, they don't want slower service. So what I know for sure is our customers, they want to get taken care of. They want to know that they're secure and they feel comfortable with choosing a contractor that's going to alleviate the headache working with the insurance company, which it could be a big headache. They want a contractor that's going to facilitate the process. What does that mean? They don't got to do shit. Listen, you know what you got to do? You got to tell me what shingle color you want. That's what you need to do. I'll take care of everything.
How do you know you have quality craftsmanship?
How do I know?
How do I know as the customer?
Because I'm going to give you thousands of names of references and referrals where you could call people and say, is this guy really all that, or is he full of shit? Because he told me he's doing 700 roofs a year, and he said that his crews are good. Did he replace your roof? He did. Where do you live? He gave me your address. Could I stop by and look at the roof? Yeah. When you're proud of your product and you're proud of your brand, I'll give you anything that you want.
Well, I wouldn't know what a quality roof looks like.
Well, after it rained, it leaked.
Normal customers wouldn't either, would they?
I mean, if it rains and it doesn't leak, we did a good job. That's
but I could just lift up your shingles and slap down.
Well, you're an idiot. Why would you do that?
Slap down a, what do you call that? Rubber shit.
Listen, when I started door knocking, when I first started the business, and I was desperate. And this is the thing to sales guys, sales people, project man, anybody that's in a sale, you got to sound desperate. So I got to a point where I was desperate. I was knocking doors. I still am, by the way, a little bit different. But I was desperate from the perspective of I would knock doors when I started the company. It's like, this is my baby. I got to make it work. I'm obsessed. So I would say to people, hey, I'm working with your neighbor. Right? Well, what's your neighbor? Oh, shit. Lost the sale, right? The next day, knocking doors. Hey, I'm working with your neighbor. I want to give you a free inspection. Well, who's the neighbor? Oh, son of a bitch. I forgot. Third day, I get in my truck, go out. Someone asked me that question again. I'm going to say, Susie, the little lady with the big white dog. Susie. Why Susie? My mom's name is Susan, and I'm obsessed with my mom. My mom's great. Susan. I could identify with that right away. And it's easy to say. And Susie's kind of cute. Susan, Susie. Next day, third day. Hey, I'm working with your neighbor. I wanted to stop by, give you a free inspection. What neighbor? Boom. Susie, real nice lady, big white dog. Anyways, we're doing her roof in a couple weeks, but you might not have any damage. Takeaway. You might not have any damage. You might be okay. But in the event you have consistent damage, Susie, that's what I specialize in. I'll get the insurance to cover a full replacement.
You bring a ladder?
And I'll take care of everything.
Get on up there and look.
How you going to get up there? Got a ladder?
Get on up there and look.
Yeah. Susie, the little lady with the big white dog.
If I'm knocking on doors and someone says, yeah, go ahead, take a look. Is that all you need to get the deal?
Well, you need to go a step further. I go a couple steps further to pre-qualify you because I've done this thousands of times and I've gotten screwed thousands of times, right? And so that's why it's a pretty aggressive statement to say I perfected the process, but I'll look you in the eyes and tell you I'm an expert in my field. Why? Because no one has failed more than me. So it went from, hey, my name is Nick. I just want to look at your roof. Cool, go look at the roof. I get off the roof. You've got some damage. We got to get the insurance involved. Whoa. Listen here, buddy. You ain't calling my insurance. I ain't going to get dropped as a customer. Okay. Next day. Hey, I'm here to look at your roof. I want to offer a free roof inspection. Let you know if you have any damage. Yeah, you can let me know if I have damage, but I don't want to pay anything. Okay, fine. So I get to a point where once I get the approval to look at someone's roof, now I got to go the step further. And I got to make sure that you and I are on the same page. That in the event that I look at your roof and I identify hail damage and I'm confident and comfortable that I'll get your insurance company to cover replacement, you're going to contact the insurance company and I will be your contractor and I will do all the work that the insurance covers. How about that?
Let's start with seeing if there's damage.
Okay, so that's totally fine. But I'm just asking just so you and I are on the same page. In the event I go up there and I do see damage,
we'll see.
Would you want to move forward?
So you won't get on the roof till you get them to agree.
Why would I waste my time? Listen, Mr. Lee, with all due respect, you will never find another contractor that wants to earn your business more than me. You will never find another contractor that'll take more pride in representing you. But I'm saying this with all due respect. I have a laundry list of people that are looking for my help. So I could look at it right now, and in the event I get the insurance, I identify hail damage, I want to know that you're comfortable moving forward, contacting the insurance company. And if not, listen, there is no big deal. What time frame are you looking to move forward? Because I can't imagine if someone would go on my roof and tell me that there's damage, I'd wait on it. So is it a timing thing, or do you want to check on my references? Because I've got 600 on Google right now.
How easy do you think that it is?
What's that?
How easy is it to sell the roofs?
That's like me asking you, how easy is it to start a company and make $100 million? I mean, listen.
Well, my answer would be pretty fucking easy.
Easy is subjective. To me,
well, give a goddamn answer, Nick. What are you, wishy-washy?
No, I'm not wishy-washy, but it's like,
how easy is it to sell a fucking roof?
I think it's super easy. I love this shit.
Are you scared of answering that question?
No, but I just don't want to come across like, oh, it's super easy. It's easy to me, but it's not easy to the average person.
Why? Are you afraid of being judged?
I don't give a shit.
Exactly.
A little bit. I don't want the audience to think like, oh, this guy thinks.
If you say how hard is it to build $100 million business, it ain't that fucking hard.
Right. Selling roofs ain't fucking hard. Let me tell you something right now.
Doesn't sound fucking hard.
It's
the goddamn insurance company pays for it.
Sometimes.
Well, what do you mean? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out, because I've never sold a goddamn roof, but it sounds like, based on what you're saying, I knock on the door, dude, you could have hail damage. If you do, I can get it fixed. The insurance company pay for it all. It doesn't cost you a dime.
Right.
All you got to do is pick the color of the shingles. Why would anyone say no to that?
I mean,
do they get dropped by their insurance company? No. Are their rates going to go up? Like, what's the shit we're not saying? What happens?
This is a lot. Here, let's just target on why homeowners typically wouldn't want to.
If you came to my house right now and said, dude, I'll get you a whole brand new roof.
Right.
I don't think I need a roof. It looks great. But if you're like, oh, no, we can get you a better looking roof and your insurance company pays for it, and that's the truth.
Right.
fuck, go ahead.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll pull into the car wash and they'll always come up, look at your windshield. You ever see them do that?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you got a little fucking rock chip.
You got a little spackle right there. Let me get your new windshield.
Dude, you got a little rock chip here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, dude, we can fucking
take care of it.
Jack that juice in there and take care of it. Insurance will pay for it. Everybody's happy. Yeah. I said, oh, okay. Well, after I did it, well, then I had to fucking deal with all this fucking bullshit. They didn't tell me that.
Of course they didn't.
So what is that shit with the roofing business?
Well, I'm just going to give you primary reasons. Let's just go here. Here's primary reasons why a homeowner would say no. First, my roof's not leaking. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. My roof's not leaking. It's never leaked. I don't got an issue. That's one.
Which would be technically true.
It's completely true.
If you're looking...
I've got a way to overcome all these objections. I'm answering your question, though. These are the top reasons.
I know, but remember, dude, it's my podcast, so I got to direct. Okay, I got to direct.
All right.
Now, again, I could say, "Hey, listen up, folks. We're gonna talk about every objection a customer could have."
Okay, got it.
Get your pen, and now I want to hear them.
Okay,
and then I want to hear the rebuttal. But I might have questions along the way, bro.
All right. So we want to go through the reasons of why people would say no.
Sure.
All right. Roof's not leaking.
Yep.
I don't trust you. You scumbag.
Don't trust you to do a good job.
I just don't trust roofers. Roofers are scumbags.
But why? Who thinks that?
A lot of people.
Why?
There's a perception out there that if you go door to door for a living, you are unethical. If you go door to door for a living,
I bought my alarm system from a door to door dude.
I'm answering your question. I'm just telling you, this is what the people think.
Well,
they don't trust people
to
go
change their opinion of door to door people.
Well, that's my job.
People are saving you some time looking for the motherfuckers.
My job is to make them. My job is to be so good they take all the negative perception of door-to-door people out the window because they see me at the door and they go, you're a guy that I know, I like, and I could trust. That's my objective. But yeah, door-to-door people have a terrible perception. We're the filthy used car salesman people out there that'll say and do anything to get a deal, and then they'll find some way to screw you. And then the last and final thing, this is it. Last final thing, people are so intimidated from their insurance company. They are so intimidated. I'm telling you, they think that if you file a claim, you'll get dropped. They think that the rates are going to go
get
up.
Another fucking insurance policy from someone else.
Exactly. It's exactly what I say. So
yeah, but I mean, I didn't know that you get dropped for using your insurance. Like, that's fucked up. I paid for insurance for 9 years. I finally need it, and you're going to drop me because you got to fix my roof?
Who's the unethical one now? Me or the insurance company?
So again, it sounds like you have some mental trauma from being rejected in the past.
I don't think so.
No?
No.
You sound like you're mad at the insurance company.
No. Listen, my livelihood is completely contingent on the insurance company.
They pay you.
I wouldn't have a living if it wasn't for the insurance company. But just like anything else, there's insurance companies out there that are a blessing to work with.
Okay, Brad, who are those people?
All I can say is
some love.
All I could say, some great USAA is unbelievable. All right. Farmers is really good.
See, again, folks, pay attention. You got Farmers Insurance, you got USAA, because they apparently are a dream to work with.
Well, USAA is only military, so you have to have somebody in your direct family bloodline with military. It could be your grandpa that served in Nam, some type of military affiliate. USAA is amazing. Farmers is great. But here's the trick of the trade that the audience needs to know. Here's the trick of the trade, and I'm going to say this, and you need to take note. The best, statistically speaking, the insurance companies that take the best care of you, again, you're talking to a contractor, so with property claims, right? I'm not talking about theft claims. I'm not talking about auto claims. What I do for a living, and I'm an expert in my field, typically the best insurance companies that take the best care of their customers are not the biggest insurance companies, if you know what I mean. So the biggest insurance companies there are that exist, I won't say their name, but they have the most commercials. They claim they take the best care of their customers. They're the biggest insurance companies that exist. They typically take the worst care of their customers. I'll leave you with that.
What kind of insurance am I buying that would cover a roof? Homeowners insurance?
Yeah. So I'll leave you with that.
Have you ever ran onto somebody that doesn't have homeowners? No, because it's mandatory.
It's mandatory. When you buy your house, you got to have it.
So, man, that just sounds like an easy biz.
It is easy.
I'm gonna fly out to Dallas one of these days and walk out in the field, and I'll show your freaking.
I would love it.
I'll show your shitties. that a guy
slap dicks.
Yeah, the slap dicks. I'll show you your slap dicks. That a guy that's never sold shit in the roofing industry. I've never been on a metal roof. I've never been on a shingle roof. I've never been on a fucking roof. Okay,
Brad.
and I'll go sell that shit. You know why? Because I've got the ability. Because I got the ability to freaking walk up and make common sense out of things. Now, if there's no leak, there's like no damage. Like, what is hail damage if there's no leak? Broken shingle, a hole.
Yeah, you look for a black impact on the shingle.
Right, so it's gonna leak eventually, or like, what does it matter if my fucking roof's dented as long as it ain't leaking?
Over time, it will.
It will, and so that's why I wouldn't be in a rush. It's not leaking.
Right.
Is there any way that you can go to a neighborhood prior to you canvassing the neighborhood and just drill some fucking holes in their roof?
Yeah, but you'd be an unethical piece of shit.
Okay, just checking. Just checking.
You know what you do really well? I'm not here to
everything.
I'm not here to stroke your ego, but you have an unbelievable way of articulating things. And first off, things aren't complex, right? Again, we're not sitting here talking about like neuro brain surgery, like the human body. Sales is the most simple concept when you break it down, right? And you have an unbelievable way of a couple things that I take from you. You articulate extremely well. You break things down to be simple. And you know what good salespeople do? They smile. You're so much more likable when you smile, and you smile more, you're more trustworthy. So what I do is when I go door to door, the second the door cracks, the second I see the door opening, I start cracking a smile. So I greet them with a smile. You gotta understand.
Even if you have so many teeth missing, it looks like your tongue's in jail. Huh? Yeah. Even if you got a mouthful of Indian corn.
Yeah, but you need
some of those guys, they don't got the pearly whites you got, dude. They got 2 teeth missing. They're trying to get out. They're trying to get out of the rat race. Okay. They're knocking on doors. And guess what? They don't want to smile. They're a little insecure. What do you say to them?
First off, this is going to cost me a lawsuit, but I wouldn't hire you if you had all these teeth
What do you
missing.
say to them?
Confidence.
No, you say, smile anyway, bitch.
Yeah, but first I say before you go
smile
door knocking.
Anyway.
Yeah, but first clean your shit out. Get your shit right before
common sense, but smile anyway.
It's not common
the rule
sense,
is
though.
Smile anyway.
Yeah,
because again, I agree with the smile.
It's not common sense.
Dude, I'll go show you this little thing I'm putting together to show people how to build real relationships, make introductions, kind of like build their network.
Yeah,
because network really is net worth. All the people in your network, you know, if you can create real relationships with those people, what do I mean by real? You can leverage them. Well, then that means all your resources are now my resources if I do it right. All my resources are now your resources if you do it right. See what I'm saying? You're on my podcast. You're going to get fucking heard by shit tons of people. You probably get business followers, everything. I'm a resource to you. Yeah. And if I needed something, I'd call you and you'd fucking hook me up. Why? Well, because we've formed a real relationship. Real meaning I'll help you and I'm sure you'd help me.
Yeah.
How do we make those relationships? The first thing in the introduction I'm talking about is smiling. Because, dude, you're 100% right. That door cracks. They see you out there smiling, dude. It just instantly changes the vibration of the conversation.
Yeah.
Now, again, you got a bad smile because I know people with bad smiles, and you see them and they won't smile. They're like, they do. Yeah. They go out of their way not to smile, which makes them look like they smile weird. You ever see those people?
Yeah, it's awkward.
Like, let's start you know, they're clearly covering their fucking teeth. They don't want to say nothing. You know, and then one day you finally get them cracking a real smile and you see like maybe there's some fucking missing shit right here and it's kind of yellow. Yep. Well, dude, number one, obviously fix that shit. But if you ain't got the money, dude, my point is you smile any fucking way.
Yeah.
Because when I see those people really smile, dude, then I really smile. Yeah. Then I'm like, fuck yeah, that's the dude I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Or the girl.
Yeah. It's about being likable. It's about being likable. So two things that I'm doing subconsciously that my customers at the door are not realizing I'm doing is the second they crack the door, I start smiling. And as I'm giving my pitch, which by the way is less than 14 seconds, I'm mirroring them. They don't realize I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. So as I'm smiling and as I'm talking, I'm also mirroring them.
So if you get an old lady that's 98 years old, she answers the door like this, you hunch over?
I put my hands in front of my body and I hunch over a little bit and I talk with patience. I'm telling you, it fucking works. I got guys that are leaning against their door.
Who wants to go out with Nick and see if he actually does that shit?
I'd love it
if I saw you knock on a door and a little old lady answers the door, and I see you bend over and be like, hey.
Well, yeah, I mean.
Are you Marge? Someone told me you're Marge.
So, but I think mirroring is really big. Guys lean on the wall, I lean on the wall. When I sit down, guys cross their legs, I cross their legs. They sit back, I sit back. They fold their arms, I fold their arms. Mirroring in personal sales, I think, is massive. So I smile, all that stuff. I mean,
there's a lot of roofing companies listening to this, wanting to say, hey, dude, Nick, come help me build my team.
Yeah.
You willing to do that yet?
Yeah, absolutely.
So again, folks, if you're a roofing company, ain't doing 75 mil, reach out to Nick. Mm-hmm. You're a freaking customer looking to, get a roof in the Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, Austin, Texas area, commercially anywhere. He takes care of his customers. He just said how important it was. So, call Nick. Just make sure Bomb Squad sent you, so I get a little freaking commish for the dish.
Action.
Yeah, because, dude, what if you made $10 million, dude? You're going to come bring me a freaking Rolex or something?
No.
Shit.
No.
Cut me a 2-dimer.
I would say name the Ferrari and let's get it popping.
Folks, come on, man. Get a roof, especially if you got big commercial buildings. But in all seriousness, dude, appreciate you flying all the way out here to tell us your secrets.
Man, I can't tell you. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate everything you do. I've been a fan of yours for a while, and I hope I consider you a friend.
Sure. I wouldn't have let you on if I didn't like you.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate being here. This is awesome.
Well, dude, to me, and people shouldn't take this the wrong way, but I always say, you should feel blessed being on here. Yeah. And here's why. Not because you'll get exposure, but because that means I think you've got something to teach these people. Because, dude, there's a guy that's about ready to quit that's going to stay on.
Yeah.
There's like, this benefits people. Mm-hmm. So I always say, man, it's a blessing to be on, because that means I believe that you got value for the world. And I bet you my listeners agree. Mm-hmm. Folks, follow Nick at New View Nick. And again, you'll see him in the gym a lot. I don't know why, but he's a gym rat somehow.
I'm a has-been.
He's a gym rat. You see him out on jobs. You get little kind of roofing tips, mindset tips, success tips. What else are you dropping on there?
I just try to combine. I just try to really showcase who I am. I'm a dad that's obsessed.
You got a nice Ferrari.
I got a nice Ferrari.
I'm little girl.
I'm obsessed.
Always playing with your little girl.
My daughter.
Folks, New View Roofing too. That's your website?
Yeah, newviewroofing.com. But shoot me a follow, DM me anything. Make sure you reference Bomb Squad.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to, but reach out if you want a job. If you're an ace, he's giving out jobs. You're willing to hire anybody that's an ace, yeah? You got enough business to scale that shit.
Yeah, 100%.
Didn't a big hailstorm just come down?
Just a month ago yesterday.
And there's still damaged roof everywhere.
Oh, it's everywhere.
What about dent repair specialists? Aren't they swarming around the neighborhoods
Their
too?
business model is precisely identical to ours. Precisely. It is the same business model as property claims. It's the same exact process. Call the insurance. They come out. They give you an estimate. They give you a check. You take it to the body shop. They fix it up. If the mechanic finds a couple pieces or a couple hundred pieces that they need to get fixed and they need your insurance to reimburse, that's on the mechanic's responsibility to submit it to the insurance to get reimbursed for it. And they take care of you, giving you the business model is identical.
Well, dude, I'm glad you're kicking ass. I can't wait to hear what's next.
We got a lot that's next. Taking a page out of your book, literally. Hang on, don't tell me. Do good.
Do more.
Get better. Scale.
That's right.
I'm going to implement that. I want to expand more in the current markets. I want to open up in more markets. I want to just start continuing to do commercial work everywhere around the country. And I just want to keep contributing to the brand. And personally, I want to go into public speaking. I'd love to be on stage speaking, inspiring people to be the best versions of themselves. Anything remotely close to self-improvement, door-to-door contracting, building a brand, just anything. I'd love to have a stage, have a platform like that. But as far as a business, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with scaling this thing to something. We already have something special, but we're going to take on solar. That's going to allow us to really scale. We're going to take on more reps, and we're going to just go to new cities. But I would really like to be doing 1,500 roofs a year in the next 2 to 3 years. And I'd love to be tripling our revenue by taking on solar as well.
There you have it, folks. Go follow him at New View Nick. Nick, appreciate you coming in. Until next time, kids, as always, keep that shit real.
Dropping bombs with the real Bradley. Subscribe now.